Hello, this is Dr. Oz. Today I will be talking about quantity discount models. So in these models, it's very similar to EOQ models. In this problem so far, what we have done is we look at the inventory simulation based on different demand, which is demand in this case is uncertain. And then we built EOQ model, what should be the best order quantity for me in a way that I can minimize my total annual cost. And we say that let's go with 171 units. Every time I order 171 units, and it costs me $309,088. And then we consider, what if I produce these products and get direct materials from my suppliers and then produce in-house? Then we calculate the batch size would be, the best batch size would be 270 purses per batch. That would cost me 309,965, which is higher than my EOQ total cost. And now what I would like to do is I would like to build a model that will be similar to EOQ, but I will have multiple EOQs. The reason is that in real life, if you order more quantities, let's say more than 500 or more than 2,500 or 5,000, you may get better deals. So let's consider that effect. What I'm gonna do is copy this area right here, right? And paste it into my new sheet. And then I will go to EOQ site and I will get these steps. I will update them for my quantity discounts. I just don't want to type them again, okay? I will just delete these values because I would like to recalculate them for you again. So now first step is to calculate the EOQ model, right? Before going to that though, my price and holding cost will change. So let's introduce new parameters here. First new parameter here is holding cost rate. And we assume this number to be 20%. Again, this number is higher for fashion and technology products and perishables because they have higher opportunity or holding costs. It's lower in general for commodities because they are not perishable and they don't lose their value and so on that fast. So we assume that this is 20% and this is per year of purchasing cost. Purchasing cost. I give it as a percentage of purchasing cost because purchasing costs will change based on quantity ordered. So that's why purchasing cost unit price value, let's say for this example, between 1 to 499 units, our supplier says, you know what, that's too low. I cannot give you at the price of 40. Instead, you have to pay me $41 per product, per purse. This is dollar. But if you give me, if you order something between 500 units to $24.99, of course, this depends on the relationship between you and your supplier. Let's say we get a quantity discount of 50 cents per purse. If we order more than 25 units, then our suppliers say, okay, then I can give you the price that is $4 per purse. All right, so now based on these numbers, let's calculate our economic order quantity. So economic order quantity formula is right there. So let's do that. Square root of 2 times D, capital D, which is right here, times S. In this case, S is ordering cost, which is 200 per order, divided by holding cost, which is H. We were using this as an $100, but instead of using $100 here, which is right here, now it's not fixed number. It is 20% of my price, which is $41 in this case, right? So that number did change because the value is gonna be 20% of the purchasing price. So you may see, wow, okay, we were thinking like $100 holding cost. Now its holding cost is significantly lower. Yeah, so it looks like the holding cost is lower for this product. And again, it depends on these assumptions, and in real life, you will make these calculations based on the given parameters. All right, so when I do this, looks like my best order quantity is 597 purses. However, 537.97 doesn't make any sense. The reason is that here in this case, we are working on the alternative one. Alternative one. What's alternative one? It is ordering less than 500 purses. Right, that's our first alternative, ordering less than 500 purses. So if I do that, then my economic order quantity here is 597, which doesn't make any sense. So to make sure that this number doesn't violate with the threshold that I have here, I will make sure that I will put this formula in min function. Minimum of, right, the number that I calculated based on my EOQ formula, comma, my upper bound, in this case 499. So this number should not get more than 500. As you see, okay, now that's 499 because initially it was 597, which doesn't make any sense because it's more than my upper bound. So that's why I put a min function issue here, which compares this value that I calculated with my upper bound and gives me the lower one. But of course, also I need to consider the lower bound. To consider the lower bound effect, I need to put this time max function. And number that I generated here, comma, should never be less than my lower bound. In this case, my lower bound is 1 because this is the price that this 41 is the price that I only get if I order between 1 to 499. So my economic order quantity is now 499 purses. Very nice. So now we can calculate number of orders per year by capital D, which we have it right here, divide by Q star. In this case, we calculate Q star as 499. So this means that I need to order 15 times per year. The time between orders is number of days in a year divided by number of orders per year. So in this case, every 25 days roughly, I'm ordering again. All right. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to calculate the annual ordering cost, which is number of orders that I calculated per year, right here, times ordering cost, which is $200, right? So I got here almost $3,000 of ordering cost, right? So now average inventory or cycle inventory, Q star divided by 2. Okay, so this is my average inventory. So if I calculate my then annual holding cost, is H, which again, H is not $100 per year per person anymore. We have to calculate based on the price, so $41 per product times the rate that we have, 20%. That's my H, capital H, new capital H, times Q star over 2, which is right here. All right, so that's $2,466, $46. And now I can calculate my annual purchasing cost. So it is capital D, which is right here, times PU. In this case, my PU is not $40 anymore. They're asking me to pay $41. So this is my PU, right? And my total cost is nothing more than my ordering cost plus my holding cost plus my purchasing cost. So now I calculate my first cost for alternative 1. All right, so I would like to do the same calculation for alternative 2 and alternative 3. So to do that, I don't want to keep calculating these formulas, I will make sure that all the cells that they need to be locked in, I will lock those. So let's look at it here. So C16, which is D, capital D, blue cell right here, I would like to lock that one, because when I copy this formula again down there, I don't want that reference to change. F4. C9, which is ordering cost, yes, that needs to be locked. Purple cell, yes, that needs to be locked. C23, that doesn't need to be really locked, because this value is gonna go down. So what I'm gonna do is I will keep this one and I will change it once I copy paste this formula. And again, upper bound and lower bound, they should change too. So I did not reference them. I need to do manual change there as well. So these three things have to change, all right, when I copy this formula. Let's look at here. Capital D, yes, I will use the same demand for all these alternatives. Red cell right here, I will use different ones. So I want to make sure that this is not locked in, because I will calculate new EOQs. All right. So blue cell here, number of days in a year doesn't change, so it's locked. Number of orders, they should change based on EOQ, so I will not lock this one. And ordering costs here, again, this should change based on my new calculations. The red cell ordering cost is the same cost for all the alternatives. Again, H should change. So here, my blue cell should change. Red cell should not change because 20% is fixed for between alternatives, and cycle inventory should change. All right, so the blue cell here should not change, and red cell should change. And then finally here, all of these should change. So let's copy this formula now and make these changes that I have to make. So this is my second one, and this is my third one. So alternative 2, which is more than 500 purses, but less than 2,500 purses. All right, so alternative 3 is more than 2,500, more than or equal to 2,500 purses. All right, so alternative 2, alternative 3. So let's look at here. So looks like we say that we need to change this green cell, which is supposed to be the purchasing cost, which this cell right here, green cell, right? That should be $40.50 this time. That's what I changed. My upper bound is not $4.99. My upper bound is $24.99. So I will put $24.99 here. And my lower bound is not 1 anymore. It is 500. Okay, so that is fixed. As you see, economic order quantity here is 600 purses. So this here, the red cell is Q star, that's good, and that's good. There is no problem here. Time between orders, there is no problem here either. All right, so number of orders times that's good, looks good to me. That looks good to me. Here, blue cell is supposed to be H. Again, this is the blue cell, it shouldn't go all the way there. I know that the purchasing cost is $40.50 times 20%. That will give me my capital H. And that's good. Annual purchasing cost, demand times PU. In this case, PU is again $40.50. I will drag this red cell over here. And total annual costs looks good to me as well. So as you see here, this alternative ended up with more cost in comparison to this one. So looks like so far the winner is $4.99, not 600. So let's try our last alternative. If you order more than 2,500, what's gonna happen? So again, I need to look at these three things here. This time I pay green cell band all the way down here. This time I will pay $40 per unit to buy. My upper bound, there is really no upper bound, so I will put a very, very big number here, 9999s. And then my lower bound is at least I need to order 2,500 units, so that's 2,500 right there. Let's see whether this formula is correct. Okay, that looks good to me. That looks good to me as well. All right, that looks good to me as well. As you see, this time I order only 3 times a year. That looks good to me. So let's look at our annual holding costs. Again, my blue cell shouldn't be here. This time I pay $40 per purse. Okay. That looks good to me. $10,000 holding cost. That's quite high because we don't order that often. Annual purchasing cost, again, I spent $40 per purse. All right, so this ended up in $2,000. Okay, so looks like the best option is the cheapest one, which is, I told you wrong, this is more expensive than this. So the best option is, in this case, really the option number 2, because that gives me the lowest possible cost. So this is the best option, right? Best. All right. So what we did in this model is that we ran EOQ models 3 times based on 3 different prices, and we make sure that the solution, the best EOQ that we got, is within the boundaries. If not, we updated those values based on the boundaries, and we found the closest boundary for that EOQ. And then we compare the total cost, and looks like the best solution is ordering 600 units every time. And if we order 600 units, basically we spend $300,000 of total cost. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next video, enjoy supply chain management.